Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Joe Daddy's Garage. It is Monday night live stream at 7 p.m. I am in my garage, as you can see, and we are going to try to talk about classic cars. As you've been following along, many of you have been here many, many times, and you know that I've been having problems with my Wi-Fi or my Ethernet or my laptop or something. So I've tried a couple more things. I've had people suggest do this, do this, do this. Everything is where it's at right now. I mean, I've disabled the Wi-Fi. I've actually gone so far as to completely turn off my desktop computer so it's not even connected. Currently, my wife is not here, so I don't know if that's going to be part of it or not. But right now, we're looking pretty good, and I hope it stays this way. So anyway, this is our Monday night live stream. And we tend to focus on Mustangs and Camaros and Mopars and stuff like that. Cars built in the 60s, 70s, that generation of cars. That's like the best era of cars, 60s and early 70s. So anyway, my background, of course, as many of you know, grew up at a junkyard, worked on cars all my life. I'm an aircraft mechanic. I've done all kinds of stuff. And if you haven't seen my channel, check it out. If you're just here for a visit, by all means, join us. Ask questions, participate. We have people that ask questions and people that answer questions. Sometimes I answer them. Sometimes people in the group over here on the side. I have a great group of people that show up every week. If I answer the question, I get a bell. If somebody over there answers a question, they get a bell. It's a good answer now. Now, wrong answers, no, you don't get any credit for that. So anyway, I hope you all had a good weekend. We did have a good weekend ourselves. We went to the lake, hung out with some friends, had some issues with a pontoon boat. We may talk about that. And just relaxed. Just relax, That's the whole thing about going to the lake. It's what you're there for, is to try to relax and enjoy yourselves. So with all that said, we already have quite a few people here. And if you haven't already, hit the like button, help this channel grow, help this, live stream to become more, visible to YouTube. And we'll see how that goes. And again, if there is some sort of a lag or something that goes on with the live stream, hang in there. Sometimes it gets slow and and then it comes back. But right now, I'm getting a phone call from Long Creek, Oregon. Who's calling me? I don't know who that is. Sorry. No answer. Okay. Right off the bat, we have Dave Britton checking in. Busy week coming. And that's our first Dave. We give a bell for the first Dave. So it wasn't a very good bell. There you go. That was a better bell. Cooter Lev checking in. Non-Dave. First non-Dave checking in. Dave Britton, us Daves are taking over the world, just letting you know before it hits the news. Thank you for that, Dave. Cooter, I'm sorry, Dave, and the rest of us cannot allow that to happen. Oh, Hal. Yes, Hal. Yes, of course. Terry Keithley, hi, Barry, and everyone. Got coffee on, and it's Monday night at Barry's. Yes, glad you're here, Terry. Cooter Love, I should probably go with coffee like Terry, but for me, it's usually an icy adult beverage. I want to talk about that, too. And a good cigar from Monday night at Barry's. I could go, a good cigar. That sounds really nice. That sounds nice. Since you brought that up, Cooter, I was going to talk about this, but I'm going to talk about it right now because it's on my mind. And icy adult beverage. That's what triggers this thought. This coming every year at about this time every year, go with a group of friends to celebrate birthdays. There are several that have birthdays in July, and it has become a tradition. We've been doing it, I don't even know how long now, 6 years, 7 years. Anyway, we go to this place in Atlanta. It is called Der Biergarten. I don't know if you've ever been to one of those, but it's spelled like D-E-R and then B-I-E-R-G-A-R-T-E-N. Der Biergarten. And we've been doing this, and some of our friends are German heritage. Of course, my family long time ago was German heritage. But if you've never been to a place like that, it's usually pretty fantastic. They have this chart. You have like a color chart. When you're looking at the uh, paint store or something, and you say, "Here's all the blue," and it starts off super light and it goes down to darker blues, right? They have that. They have that not in a color chart, but they have that for their beers. So, then it's got some sort of German name. I don't even know, but it starts off with a really light colored beer, and then it goes down to like motor oil. So we have one friend who loves the motor oil stuff. But since you brought that up, that's what made me think about that. I am so looking forward to doing that this weekend. They usually have, we get this buffet style plate, this giant platter that has, I don't know, pork and sausage and sauerkraut and potatoes. And I don't even know what all's on this thing, but we usually get that. I can't even, it's all in German, but we know what that is. Pork and blah, blah, blah. It's fantastic. So if you're ever in Atlanta and you're looking for something interesting, check out Der Beer Garden. You'll like it if you're into that sort of stuff. All right, let's continue on. Dave Britton, sounds like a bad sci-fi movie. Invasion of the Daves. Yeah, that could be. Dave, I lose track of who has what in the viewers clips. Oh, in the viewers videos. Is that who has which car? David, anyone use sound dampening and thermal insulating materials for the interior? I was just scrolling through these questions prior to going live, and yes, the answer is yes. I've been using a product called Killmat. They have I don't know what the other ones are, Dynamat or something. I don't know what the variations are, but this is Killmat. This is I have it listed on my Amazon page. I believe I have it listed. I've been using this stuff, and it's 80 mils thick, and it's got a peel off back. You've probably seen the videos, and it's very flexible. You can kind of form it if you go into a tight angle. I usually take it and I cut into the wherever the angle is, so I can bend, kind of manipulate it into a corner. But I like it. So if that answers your question, I don't know, but that's what I've been using. In fact, I've got most of the floor pan done in Jade right now. Dave has watched videos on it. Killmat is what people like from what I've seen. That's what I'm using. Cooter, another Dave. It's an invasion. Yeah, that's several Daves now. Crash Rider from Southern Indiana. Good evening, everyone. Okay, who hasn't hit the like button? Yeah, hit that like button. David Stepp getting ready to reassemble the interior of the Maverick and trying to make up my mind. I would recommend this stuff. And I'd recommend you buy it off my Amazon page. But I do recommend this stuff. I like it. You can tell a difference just tapping on the floor. You get that hollow, tinny sound. Put this stuff down, and it's not like dead silent, but it's definitely a more subdued sound, and I like it. Troy, good evening, Barry and the Barriettes. It's a good day in Georgia. Yeah, it is a good day. I'll go with that. It is a good day. Shane, let's talk about bicycles. All this car talk makes me thirsty. Well, I've had bikes. I've wrecked bikes. We're not getting into that. Dave and Cheryl. That's another Dave, but it's just Cheryl, so I'll give Cheryl a bell. Here after fixing a leak in a hose in our 98 Chevy Blazer here in a small town in Missouri. Oh, well, I'm glad you got it fixed. Troy he loves Mavericks, would like to find one for his next project. Dave and Cheryl also changed a headlight in our 89 Dodge truck. Well, it sounds like you're getting stuff done. May not be the stuff you want to get done, but I'm glad you're able to get it taken care of. Clark, hello. Attack with the Pod Daves commence. BK Woods, howdy everyone. Glad you're here. Welder, good evening. Glad you're here. Wally is checking in. I'm hoping you have had a good weekend or got some more progress on your convertible, Wally. Cooter, really like the 10th Mountain Division t-shirt. Yes. Yeah, this one's pretty cool. Somebody had a friend give it to me, and I was I'm pretty happy to have it. Cooter to Barry's wife isn't there. Party at Barry's, yeah. Bring the adult beverages and pizza. You got to bring pizza. Let's see. Truck 1LT. Hey, Barry and everyone. Finally welding the floor pan in. Good. I'll give you a bell for that. James Smothers. Good evening, Barry and friends. David, your warranty is getting ready to expire. That's the phone call. Oh, yeah. On the guy from Oregon. I don't know. I've been getting weird texts lately. Like they're trying to get me to join in with, I don't know what it is. Join in with something. I finally had to like stop, block, quit talking to me. Beaky Woods update on my 66 Cyclone, pulling the motor this week. Uh-oh. Flat tab cam and lifter damage from break-in. It's apparently an epidemic right now. Replacing it with a roller cam and a roller and custom grind cam. Ouch. Ouch. That's never a good sign. But, it's probably better that you did it now, than be driving down the road and have it fall apart, fail. So I try to think of it that way. Dan checking in over in the sandbox. Glad you're here. Gary Hamlin, hey Barry from Northwest Washington. I'm not sure. Have you been here before, Gary? I don't think I've recognized that name. So welcome. BK, Killmat is great. Did mine with it. Great stuff. Comes in thicker dimensions too. Yes. Well, in fact, what I did, I put in, I got the 80 mil stuff simply because it would, there's more in a box technically because they sell it by whatever thickness. And I think at 80 mils, you may get 40 sheets and 100 mils, you may get 30 sheets. I don't know. But what I did on mine is I doubled it up on the firewall. So I put one layer and then I put a second layer on the firewall and I came down on the transition panel where your feet go. Doubled that up. I don't think the rest of the car needs to be doubled. It's going to have carpet and stuff in it. Winged Warrior, another Dave checking in. Big Dave checking in. I used Killmat as well. See? Killmat, way to go. Hindsight, Roger checking in from next door. Winged Warrior caught a 45-inch long muskie last week and hauled a 17-pound king salmon in. Lots of fresh salmon in the freezer. The muskie was released, was good to get out fishing. I'm a terrible fisherman. I will say that. I can't catch anything. I catch my best fish at the grocery store. Gary, replacement steering wheel for my blue interior 64.5. Who has a better quality? NPD was not very good. Wow, that's surprising. I don't have an answer for that. So, who has a better quality steering wheel for the 64.5? Any input will be appreciated. David Sherrill, I will bring a few Hawaiian pizzas, and I'll eat that. I love, we all love pizza. We got to, right? But yeah, Hawaiian pizza, my wife doesn't like it. I like it. My son likes it. One of my sons. So that's a good thing. So Gary, I got a yes. I'm not sure that means you were here before or if it's your first time. That's the tricky part. Whenever I'm talking and I'm scrolling through the things, I'm going to get a comment, but I don't know what it's about because I'm out of sequence. It doesn't come in as fast as I'm going through my process. Boogie Bum, checking in from Nashville. Glad you're here. All right. Got through all the check-ins, and I'm sure there'll be more coming. And by all means, like I said, questions or ideas or comments or whatever. I'm glad to have them. Glad to help answer them. If you'll notice, ding, ding, ding. Fenders are on the car. That's a good thing. It fits. I was trying to do a video. I have so much stuff filmed that I need to get processed, but I talked about this. I can't dump a video every day and whatever. But But I have a video on headliner, a video on the heater hose, a video on the dash, finishing up the vintage air stuff up front. I did some filming on door seal, got that to do. And I did a video kind of on the fenders. Now, here's the thing. It's really hard to do a video to show the detail of adjustments or, that sort of thing whenever I did all that prior. So, the fender, basically I put it on and I put the bolts in, and I showed some information where you can shift, a little this way or a little that way, and it'll help change it. You move something at the rear and it changes the front. So, but for the most part, all my homework was done early when I did all the test fitting and modifications and adjustments. And if you remember, this is the fender, of course, that I welded in the lower patch section. So it's on, and you can see, I hope you can see the gap. It's pretty consistent. It fits the rocker panel. It fits the door. Really not much I can show. I was like, well, put the bolts in and I'm done. It's really hard to, tweak some things. But anyway, so the fender's on. I got the other door seal in on the passenger side, and I may have to modify that a little bit. Turns out I can see a little bit of light through the front edge. May have to come up with an idea to fix that. But yeah, it's coming together. It's coming together. Now, another thing I want to kind of mention in that process, I finalized the deal on the 67 coupe that I've been talking about, that it's going to become a fastback. Now that car, it's still at the gentleman's house. He's been kind enough to let it sit there until I can get some space here. And anyway, he wanted to finish out the paperwork. Money's exchanged. Receipt's been written, so that's taken care of. But I have to, again, get stuff moving and out of the way in here, so I can make that happen. James, Barry, in the video for the rear bumper install, you ask what the small hole are in the tail panel. You need to install a rubber splash shield that protects the license plate from gas spillage. Oh, that's what that's for. That makes more sense now, the gas spillage. Well, I probably should. I didn't even think about that. That makes perfect sense, though. That you can, I guess, keep it off the license plate light as well, but also the license plate. I'd never seen one on a car. So whether they don't last long or what, I don't know. But that's good information. Thank you, James. Let me give it a better bell. There we go. David, where is Iron Man? Oh, he's here. He's here. Kenyon, hey, car looks pretty wet. Try it off. Yeah. Yep. It is. It's plenty dry. Dave, Barry, the kind of guy that has a hard time catching frozen fish out of the freezer. Yes. Yeah. I'm just not good at it. Gary, stop by every once in a while. Don't usually ask questions. Okay. Well, that makes sense. I'm glad you're here. Troy, Iron Man is on top of the gray locker. Yep. He found him quick. David sure looks like Iron Man is on top of the gray cabinet next to a box. Yep. Let's see. Winged Warrior, I'm having one heck of a time keeping the rearview mirror on the new front windshield. AutoZone Permatex kit now has failed 5 times. Any suggestion of something better to try? That's strange. It's a brand new front windshield. I've never had one of those come off after using one of those kits. So the only thing I can suggest, and you may or may not want to try this, is to scuff it up. Maybe take some emery paper or something, and wherever you're, going to put the thing, maybe scuff it up. Is it separating from the windshield, the glue? I assume it's separating from the windshield and not the cleat or whatever. I'm assuming it's coming off the windshield. So with that in mind, maybe a little emery paper will help give it something to bite into. Just my thoughts. Mr. Scopacino, you're looking good as always. Been a while since I've joined one of your live chats. Well, I'm glad you're here, and thank you. Give you a bell for that. Terry Keithley, Barry, I can hook up my trailer and come get the BP ASAP. Yeah, I wish somebody would. I wish somebody would. Yeah, yeah. Pay the balance, come get it, move on, take it down the road. Dave Conville, that's like our fourth Dave sighting, I believe. So there's like four. I guess it's four, maybe more. James, license plate light shield MPD 40427-1B. Thanks. I guess I'll add that to my list of things that I need to order. I've talked about that before. That I had ordered new. I don't know what to call it. What do you call this? I mean, I know it's a grill filler, grill trim. I don't know what the technical word is for it, but molding panel, grill opening. So there you go. That's the terminology of today. And I showed this, I think, in one of the other live streams. This one showed up first when I ordered from NPD. And I think I mentioned this. These tabs are not supposed to be bent down. They're supposed to be like straight out. Otherwise, it looks like a nice piece. Well, and again, I'm going to talk about this because I think I have, but I don't remember for sure. The other one came back. This is for the driver's side. It's got a taper in the front. It's easy to identify that this is for the driver's side. Let me show you the other one that showed up. Just because I sent some emails to NPD today trying to get this taken care of. The thing is, this one has a part number 8191-1A. This one came in a bag that was already open, and the part number on the bag, where's it at? Oh, it says 8191-1B. Well, the problem is they're both the same part. They're both the same. The other problem is this one's slightly damaged because the box that it came in was smushed on both ends. Yeah. So anyway, I'm waiting to hear back from NPD. I think if they just sent me the passenger side, another passenger side one, I can fix the little tabs on that first one. It's not like it's really hurting anything. You can just straighten those out, but not fun to have. And that's the first time. It's not NPD's fault. I can say that. CJ Pony, now they would just stuff everything in a box, everything and anything, stuff it all in that box and smush it together and send it to you. At least that's the experience I've had. So I'm surprised, that UPS smashed that box. Usually it doesn't happen. Let's see. Dave, brand new windshield. The glue is failing. I'm going to try the emery cloth. Next on the glass, I've never had this happen before either. Maybe the windshield has some weird chemical on it. That's a possibility. It is a possibility. Mason, hey, Joe Daddy's Garage. I want to ask you, what kind of engine do you have in Jade? Is it a Boss 302 or just a 289? It is a 302, but it's just a 302 with a mild cam and some headers and some good sounding mufflers on it. So nothing crazy, I don't think. James, they sent the wait, what? They sent you one left good repo and one best repo. Okay. So you're saying they sent me the same one so I could pick which one, but I need both. I need right and left. Mason, also one of my friends has a 65 Mustang that they just put long tube headers on it and dual Dual, I guess 2.5-inch glass packs, maybe. It's very loud, but it sounds good. I like the sound of glass packs. Yep. They have a sound of their own. Jerry checking in from Middle Tennessee. I'm glad you're here, Jerry. Hope things are going well with you. Shane, the buffing sequence used on Jade is great info. It looks like a mirror. Thank you. There's always room for improvement. I will say that. There's always room for improvement. Mason, does your 65 Mustang have a comp cam or a thumper cam? I don't know what the cam is. I don't remember. I have the specs on it listed on. I did a video where I showed the exhaust, how it sounded. And I think in the description or in the comments, I listed the cam specs. I don't remember the exact what the numbers are or who makes it. Wally, yes, subframe connectors are in and back to sanding myself into madness. Yeah, I know that feeling. It is maddening. It is maddening, but I'm glad you got the subframe connectors on. I may have to consider getting some of those. I may have to. Willie, good evening, all. Glad you're here. Jerry, I'm having issues with the new left fender. Don't seem to be able to get the reveal and body lines correct. Yeah, those things, we all know it is just always difficult to get all that stuff lined up. That's why, if you can, obviously, if you can save an original panel, just do yourself a favor and try to save them. And I know you're in a different situation because it was already modified. That's one thing I'll point out about that 67. It comes with 2 new doors. Who makes them? I don't know. They're out of the box. They're just sitting there. But he also has the original doors. And looking at them, the lower front edge, as they normally do, rusted out. So to me, I would rather save the original doors and just do something else with the aftermarket doors. At this point, that's where my mind is. So, but we'll see how it goes as it moves forward. Brian, hello. My reproduction 8,000 RPM rally pack for a 6-foot Mustang should be here tomorrow. Guess it works off negative ground opposed to the originals. Any install tips? I don't have any install tips. I don't. So if anybody has the information for Brian's red on his rally pack, by all means, share it with him. Car Guy Troy checking in. Jade looks fantastic. Thank you. Appreciate it. Bob Shoemaker, the Okie is late again. Well, at least you're here. James Smothers, sorry, MPD sells 2 different brands. Good reproduction or best reproduction. I made a mistake of clicking the next one only to find out I had ordered 2 lefts. Well, the thing is, I have my receipt. And it actually shows which one is it. The pile of receipts that's sitting here. Yeah. It has listed as 8191-1A, 8191-1B. So, and like I said, I don't know. I think somebody had probably gotten one of these, sent it back for whatever reason, and maybe they put it in, they put it in the wrong sleeve and just didn't realize it. And of course, the people that stock this stuff, they just see a part number and they go, okay, that's what that is. They don't probably look at it very hard. Well, I have to recommend to anyone considering subframe connectors, do it before exhaust, gas lines, e-brake cables, etc. Pain in the butt welding around them. I will give you a bell for that. I'm sure it is. Rick Gaines, still kicking myself for giving away the 66T code. It was a wreck, but lots of good original metal was on that car. Yep. And it's getting obviously harder to find that stuff. Dave, I've only primed cars, never painted them. Would you say the paint and prep is the worst part of a restoration? Well, you know, yes and no. I mean, I don't mind doing all the prep work and stuff. Um, but the paint is where things can go wrong, just the way I see it. And when it does go wrong, you end up starting over because you can't just drive on. It's not like, oh, I didn't get that weld quite right. I'll go, do I take the car back apart? No, I just fix the weld, move on. And when you do paint work, it's like, oh, look, I got it all painted. Whoops, something's messed up. Start over. So that's the only part about it. The thing that gets me is even though I do like this car, I'm putting everything back together myself, all that stuff. It's the tedious things, all the seals, all the little screws, all the little brackets, all the little pieces and parts that have to interact and sequence. You get this part in wrong and it's going to mess up the next part. So all those things become a burden in my mind. I would rather all day long, cut things out of the car, weld them back together, all that stuff. I mean, that would just be all over it. But yeah, it can be. Yeah, I mean, can't say it's the worst part, but there's lots of other things that take up your time as well. Winged Warrior Brian, I expect you will need to use your original tack harness. Okay. Cooter, I've only had good experience with MPD returning incorrect parts, so hopefully you will too. Okay, yeah, I hope so too. Maybe it is something I did wrong. I don't know, because yeah, maybe it is something I did wrong. Now that I look at the receipt, could be that I did it wrong. Jerry, Wally, I agree with you. Subframe connectors are a real pain after the fact. Yep. Don checking in, and I pointed this out too. Don, I don't know if he has his YouTube channel up yet. I don't know if you got it running yet, Don, but I know you talked about it. You sent me an email on it. So James, you're saying I need 8190-1A. Okay. Well, maybe that's where I messed up, because looking at it and going 8191-1A and 1B, you would think those are two different numbers, but that makes sense, I guess, that it would be a different whole number rather than a sub number. I get it. I'll get it figured out one way or another. Shane, grinding 168 spot welds on a cow panel after drilling out 168 spot welds sucks. See, I'm all over that. I love doing that stuff. I do. It's all in my wheelhouse. James, 91 is left and 90 is right. Okay, well then, I don't know which one's the better. Well, I guess it goes by the, because there is a price difference, as you're mentioning. And the 91B is more expensive than the 91A. So maybe this is the better one that got damaged. 91B, yeah, that's probably the better one. So I'll just have to call them up and get it resolved. Figures. Thank you for the information, though, James. Appreciate that. Andrew, I've got rusted rockers on a 63 Thunderbird. I am just learning welding, and because it is unibody, the rockers are structural. I'm not sure how to brace it correctly, and I'm worried my welds would fail. Okay. 64 or 63 Thunderbird. And that's a unibody car? I guess I hadn't thought about it. I thought that was a full frame car, but maybe it is a unibody car. I haven't looked at one of those in quite a while. But typically, you would try to do cross bracing. So if you imagine like you're building a truss or you have trusses in a roof structure, right? Um, you're going to try to want to do crosses within that brace structure to hold things together. So if you're concerned with it, are you, are you pulling out, um, I mean, you're going to pull out all the interior and all that sort of thing. So what you can do if you're worried about it is take like square tubing and do a cross pattern. I've seen people do it where they take the doors off and they create a diagonal from the bottom of the door opening up to the top on the back. Then they can do a crisscross where they go from that piece of square tubing over to the other side of the car. So you kind of picture it, not really a scaffolding, but in a sense, a scaffolding where it's got cross bracing that keeps everything from twisting or collapsing. So you kind of envision that. So I think about it whenever, we did stock car stuff and how you wanted, this point to anchor to that point so that the car couldn't collapse in certain directions. But hopefully that helps you out. I don't know what else I can offer to you at this point. Dave, the last 10% of the work is 90% of the job. Yeah. It's crazy. Car Guy Troy, Rick from MPD is on the Muscle Car Place podcast once a month. The last time he was on there, he went over the sourcing go through to get the parts they sell. Pretty interesting, worth a listen. I'm gonna have to check that out. Thanks. Wait, there's a better bell. Jerry, I have good experience with NPD and returning parts, even out of the package, but I had all the original packing. Yeah, I try to keep all that stuff together as well. Until I'm done with it, I know it's on the car and I'm done. I try to keep all the boxes and stuff. Bob, I recently was able to get some of the original parts missing off of my 70 Mach 1 that I got back after 39 years. Another guy had got them, and I heard I had bought the car back. Lucky connection for me. That's awesome. That is awesome. Okay, Dave's talking to Kemp. Don't think there are any repro rockers for your T-Bird. My neighbor's using a brake press and making new rockers panels to replace the bad metal. Well, there you go. James, 8191-1B is on Galactic back order, which is the best one. I've been waiting 4 months now. That's not a good sign. Jerry, the car body should be level and do the cross bracing. Yes, that's a good point. Make sure it's level. Brian, on my 65, I need to run a single negative wire from the coil to the new tack. Is there a good existing hole on a stock firewall I could use to run this? Actually, there should be a hole available. I can't just sit here and go, well, there's one here or one there, but there should be a hole available. Should be. I mean, there's plenty of things that have been added to these firewalls, different configurations. There should be something available. Arthur's checking in. Hey guys, glad you're here. Anyway, so as I had said, I've got the fender on the car. I put in the rubber bumpers that go underneath the hood. Are they that critical? But they do fill in the hole there. I did miss that. Lightning rod. Have you ever used Virginia Mustang for parts? I've heard good things about them in the past. I think I missed that question earlier, didn't I? I saw where somebody asked that or asked about. Yeah, I'm sorry I missed that. Totally went past it. I'm not sure if I used Virginia Mustang or I ordered something from somebody out of the ordinary. It was I don't know if it was lights or something that I had ordered. I can't remember if it was from Virginia Mustang or some other vendor. So I can't say for sure that I've used that. Can't say for sure. Rick, there's a hole in the firewall just under the headlamp harness connector. There you go. And if you can, depending on where if you can find a hole that has a grommet in it, that makes it better because you can punch a hole in the grommet and snake the wire through, and that way the grommet protects it, keeps it from chafing on anything. Shane, working on left side of my Mustang now, worried because my door skin is from a different company than right side. Fingers crossed. Well, yeah, I hope you can make it work. It's hard to say if it's actually a different company, though. Maybe just a different name on the box. I don't know. Wally, I used an awl to perforate existing grommet to pass additional wire through. What did I say? Thank you, Wally. Backing me up on that one. Dave, let's see. I suggest a hole just above and to the passenger side of the brake booster when viewing from front, straight path along the intake to the coil. My half cent. Not even 2 cents. It was just a half cent. You're welcome, Brian. Truck 1 LT Bear decided against cutting my firewall floor pan to make up the gap. Instead, I heated the floor pan and tapped it into place. Worked like a charm. Good. I'm glad you got all that straightened out. That's a good thing. James, go through grommet to the engine feed of the coil. It follows the original and neater. Go through the grommet to the engine feed to the coil. Yep. That works. And here, as I'm talking about this, it never seems to fail. I've got a box of parts. I've got seals and screw clips and bolts and rubber bumpers and just whatever. And every time I want to go put on the fender or something, I go to that box and I'm digging. I'm like, where is the part? Where's I had a bag of brand new bolts. Where did they go? And it doesn't matter that I had them in my hand a minute ago. I have to go to that box and pull half or almost everything out of that box. And there it is. It's like, well, how did this get so deep in the box? Because I had it, I set it in the box. I walked away, I came back, and it just like sinks in. Kind of like, they had the ball pit this kids play in, and they fall into it, and they kind of wiggle around, and they sink to the bottom. I think that's what happens. I get looking for the part. I turn around, and it just like, and it's giggling. You can almost hear it giggling. Like, he can't find me now. It's almost like I should just take a piece of tape and just tape it to the fender, tape it to the door, whatever. It's a big tape wads all over everything where all the parts are supposed to attach. It's been driving me crazy to go through and I'm going to the same box repeatedly. Anyway. Austin, I found 2 new aftermarket doors from a 68 coupe. Measurements were all over the place. Ended up finding very good original doors locally. I've had 3 sets of doors on my car. Yep. Yeah, it's tough. It is tough, finding the right parts, good parts. Jack W. checking in. I'm glad you're here. Jerry, I've used Kentucky Mustang, and they are very good, but maybe more expensive, but have not used Virginia Mustang. I will check them out. Okay. James, I just noticed the front fenders are on Jade. Yep. This one's fully bolted on. The other one is in place. I still, there's more to do. I don't have the bumper brackets. I want to media blast them, throw some paint on them before I put them on the car. It's a lot easier to do it now and then bring in the rear, lower valance and that sort of stuff. So I'm going to get the fenders on and, work on the other pieces, getting them into the mix. BK Woods, I had great luck with Melvin's Ford parts. I think I've ordered one or two items from Melvin's a long time ago. Rick, I have one of those boxes too. Part I want is always at the bottom laughing at me. Yeah, I don't know how I do it. I really don't know. I mean, it's like whatever I set in the box, just does some sort of time travel thing or whatever and sinks to the bottom, disappears. Jerry, Barry, I have the same problem. I think I think I just mixed the parts up in the box. Well, the thing is, I'm like, I have the bag in my hand and I'll set it there and I'll walk away and come back and it's gone. It's gone. It's like I didn't even do anything. Troy, it says pesky parts gremlins. I hate those things. Yeah. Yeah. Truck one, the more you put on Jay, the less digging you'll have to do. Yeah, that's true. That is true. But now I have to do an order inventory. Because there's things I need to get, and so as I'm going through the box and going through the car and inching my way forward, I've got to find, this and that and the other and replace certain things. I think it's going to rain. It was raining earlier. But anyway, I just got to make my parts list so I can get those, get everything taken care of. Winged Warrior Barry, same here. No matter where I look, I can't find my refinished battery hold down. Just have to use the old one until it reappears. I am confident it will reappear eventually. Yeah, it has to. Dave Britton, it's really easy to find missing parts. They always show up when you buy the replacements. That is true. And that is exactly what I did with the rear trim that goes on the quarter extensions. I could not find it. Could not find those pieces. I looked and looked and looked and looked. And of course I ordered new ones, which it needed new ones anyway, honestly. But I ordered new ones, got them on the car, and I went to look somewhere else in another random box. And sure enough, there they were. I don't even know how they got in that box. Doesn't make any sense. They were in a completely different area than I would normally would have put stuff. Rick, I found a bunch of parts catalogs from the early 90s. I wish the prices were still the same. Yeah, that would be great. Car guy Troy, bolts and socks, have no idea where they go. Well, I will say, I think I have better luck with my socks. I will say that. Leonard, evening all. How's everyone doing? We're doing well, I think, and I'm glad you're here, Leonard. I'm glad you're here. Cooter, hopefully you don't double buy as many parts as I have. Well, the thing is, I have potential for using some of these parts. What I mean by that, I have the red Dave Mustang, the other 68, and a lot of the stuff that's on it is, trim wise is rough. It is. So the parts that were probably okay on this car, which are no longer okay, can go on that car and be okay. It'll take care of a lot of things. Even like I mentioned before, I'm more than likely buying new vent windows and new quarter windows, at least the frames. These are good driver quality, and the ones that are on the other 68 are horrible. They are danger bad. With if you ran your finger across some of that, you would just cut yourself. So I think ideally I can justify buying new chrome for this car because it'll go on the other car. The leftovers will go on Red Dave. Makes sense in my mind. Welder, rain passed through Birmingham about an hour ago. Headed your way. Yeah. It's been raining off and on here all day. James, when you installed Jade's rear bumper, did you install the rubber foam seals between bumper bracket and body? Forgot mine and leaked, flooded. I have not. I did not do that. Maybe that's something I should consider, though. I guess part of me is saying this car should never be in the rain. Like the Model A, it's been wet, but it was wet because I drove it somewhere and it rained on it. This car, like the Model A, I've only ever cleaned it with the Meguiar's Quick Touch or whatever it is. I have never washed it. That's all I've ever done. And that's what I plan to do with this. But it's probably a good point. Maybe I should look into that. Thank you for that, James. Rick, is it officially Red Dave now? Not official. not official, but I think people have heard me say Red Dave before, so they kind of get the idea as to what I'm talking about. Crash Rider, you may have to have a serious conversation with Iron Man as he may be hiding things on you. I've noticed he has a slight smirk on his face at times. Yeah, he does. I don't know why. Maybe he gets tired of being out here in the dark when I'm not around and decides to hide stuff. Welder, Troy, bolts and socks left with my 10 millimeter sockets. Yeah. It's funny though. That's always been the thing about losing a 10 millimeter socket. Honestly, I don't know that I can't say I've lost any of my 10 millimeter sockets. I will say I've had tools stolen though. I had an old toolbox stolen from up at the junkyard. Guy, one of my brother's buddies got mad at him one night and got into the garage, stole some stuff. And one of the things he stole was my big hip roof toolbox. I had one of those big Craftsman, real tall hip roof, kind of opens up. And he stole my tools. Never got them back. You don't steal a man's tools. He also stole my brother's Harley. You don't steal a man's Harley either. That was not good. Dave and Cheryl, got to go. Everyone take care and see you Thursday. All right. Leonard, try to buy front end parts for the Gran Torino. Yeah. Or front end rebuild kits for Gran Torino. Yeah. I'm sure. That's tough stuff to get a hold of. Andy H., did you replace the inner trunk brackets on Jade? If so, did the replacement require a bunch of modification cutting? The ones from CJ Pony won't even start to fit without significant modding. Okay, so when you say inner trunk brackets, give me a better idea what you're referring to. Are you referring to the brackets that hold the bumper guards? Is that what you're referring to? If that's the case, I did not replace those. I used the ones that came in the car. If you're referring to something else, I don't know if you're like the trunk drop off, maybe. I did modify the panels in this car. I saved the top portion and I cut off a 1/4 inch below the rollover, and I just cut those off of the other panels and welded them in so I could keep the whole top section. So I don't know if that's answering your question or not. Dave, I was down the shore for the New Jersey Jeep invasion this past weekend. I am Red Dave. Brian, hello all. Late, but I'm here. Been building some furniture for a homeless shelter. Keeping me pretty busy. Hope you all are well. I'm glad you're here, Brian. And kudos for building furniture for the homeless shelter. Rick, no 10 millimeter on a 65 Mustang. Very true. Very true. Cooter, don't buy foreign cars. You don't have to worry about 10 millimeter sockets. SAE for life. I'll give you and Rick a bell. Welder, Rick, not any in my toolbox either. Yeah, I have plenty of metric tools. I work on everything. Jerry, I have not lost tools, but I sometimes put them in a different place or toolbox. It really sucks when you cannot find the right socket. I agree with that. RC Guy Garage, that's a very mint hat you have on. Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Andy, yes, the ones that hold the bumper guards. Okay, the ones that I used were the ones that were on the car. They were the original. So the only thing I had to do is I loosened the bolts. And when I loosened the bolts that go through the top and into the back panel, I then connected the bumper guard and then I tightened those back up. And so whatever it did at that point, it flexed the rear valance panel some, actually helped shape it a little nicer. But that's how I did it. I don't think you can get them in. Like if you had the upper bolts tight, I don't know that you can get the lower ones in. So keep everything loose and see if you can get it from that standpoint. Shane, should it be seam sealer between inner and outer rear wheel housings, wire wheeled or wired mine off, and nothing is there. Originally, I would say they did not, because they were, how would I say it? They were welded with like a roller. Okay, so they didn't do like real spot welds. At least the other ones that I've done, the earlier cars, they used a roller and arc welded the whole thing together in a sense. The whole as one piece, kind of like melted them together. So I don't think they had they had any kind of seam sealer. Now, normally, like this car here, when I added the outer wheelhouse, replaced it, I packed that thing up with seam sealer. Just fill that whole void, and then later on spray it with undercoating. Want to make sure all that stuff gets coated and filled. Okay, so Wayne Warrior saying he did have to modify those brackets for CJ Pony. Yeah, I've not messed. I'm working with the original, so I really can't tell you. Rick, speaking Jeep, looking forward to getting my 89 YJ back to finish. That'll be nice. Rich, hello. Question about sanding a bad primer job on my 67 Mustang. Cheap Harbor Freight paint gun, spit epoxy on the quarter panel. What grit sandpaper would you recommend to flatten the primer? Well, your let's see. The epoxy's tough. It is really tough stuff. So, I usually use 100 grit. I'm just, that's usually what I go for. I don't know how old the epoxy is. The longer it's been sitting on there, the harder it gets. So, 100 grit is probably the minimum. You may even want to go 80, but I can't say for sure without knowing how bad, it is, because just remember, you're going to be adding high build primer on top of that. I'm assuming you're not just going to spray with epoxy and get ready for paint. I'm hoping, you're going to put some high build on there too. So, but yeah, you're probably looking at 100 grit anyway. Clark, just wait till the other 68 starts looking too good for Red Dave. Yeah. The trim. Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, let's hope I don't go down that path. I should just do a Rat Rod 68, huh? just put an engine in it and drive it. Leave it alone. I'd probably feel better about it. Jerry, click the like button. Yes, thank you, Jerry. Appreciate that. Her Scrambler, needed a break from the bodywork on my AMX, so I am out camping. Well, that's good. That's what we did this past weekend. Got back yesterday evening. Had a good time. Oh, speaking of which, here's the thing I wanted to mention earlier. We have friends of ours who have a pretty good sized pontoon boat, and he's rebuilt the thing, real nice. It's an older model, but it's in great shape. He's put new seats and controls and whatever. We've been out on it several times, and we usually just go out somewhere and we anchor in, go swimming, play around, whatever. And something happened to the engine. Now, I don't work on this stuff. It's a 2-stroke Johnson, whatever. I don't mess with that stuff. And we were taking off, heading out to wherever we were going, and it was running great. And then it just started like it dropped RPM. Well, what are you going to do? We could do. I think we just had lightning or something hit not too far away. We're doing like 9 miles an hour. Well, the only variable that I can come up with that he bought gas at a different location. He usually buys his Valero ethanol free, and he bought it at Racetrack. And I'm thinking that the fuel filter got water or something in it that caused it to lose flow or, restrictions, because we could drive the pontoon boat and let it sit for a couple hours, fire it up, and the thing runs great. And this did it twice on us. Twice. So yesterday we took the boat out and we just drove around We just rode around and around and around the lake, burning off all the fuel because it was pretty much a full tank. Rick, super sticker, awesome, thank you, appreciate that very much. Let's see. James, Coyote 5.0 engines are 90% 10 millimeter bolts. Yeah, there you go. Okay, camping. It was her scrambler. Brian, I think there must be a fairyland just teeming with mismatched socks, bra, underwear, I guess, 10 millimeter and 1/2 inch wrenches and sockets. Yeah. Somewhere out in this time-space continuum, right? Some black hole place. Welder, resistance seam welding on wheelhouse versus resistance spot welding on panels. There you go. I didn't get the term quite right, but I knew I was trying to emphasize that the wheelhouses, I mean, resistance welding, yes, but it was done with like a roller type of deal. Boogie Bum, what undercoat did you use in the wheel wells? I just use spray can stuff. I don't get crazy with it. Just 3M rattle can. It's all I need down here in Georgia. It doesn't have to be something crazy. Rick, all other 6-day coupes have Jade to look up to. Well, yeah, maybe. I hope so. Donnie Roebuck, he says Barry, and cool stuff on Jade. Yes. I'm glad you're here, Donnie. I'm glad you're here. I saw you sent me something on some messages. I haven't looked at them yet. I'm in the, of course, doing my live stream right now. I'll check them out later. Yeah. Jade's coming along. Jade is definitely coming along, and there's still a lot to do. You know how it is. You know how it is when you build stuff. I know you know, but there's still a lot to do, and I've been mentioning about that. I'm probably gonna. Well, I know order more parts, obviously, but I can't let these vent windows are just not as good as they could be, and it's going to drive me crazy. But the dash is in the car, the AC controls are in. In fact, I think I talked about it. Where did I put that thing? I don't even know where I put it. I had it here a minute ago. I had talked about it on a previous live stream that I was missing some pieces for the AC stuff, and I found them. They were on the old ductwork that I took out of the car. This stuff here, I will say, I don't know if this is original or not, but this stuff is like, it almost has a leathery feel to it. It's got a plastic inner liner, but and it's got like these really cool snap lock pieces. So I'm going to assume that these are original, but it has this like over center deal that you slip it on and snap it in. Oh, you see the dust come off of that, and it would lock it onto the ductwork. But the point being, I found the elbows that I was missing. This one, there was one of these had an elbow on each end. And then this one one of them had one elbow, but that's all I needed because the other one, the tubing only fits from the AC box. It has its own vent holes. These wouldn't interact. So very happy to have found those. But I'm really surprised at how well those tubes have held up. Those are really nice. Rick sent me a $4.99 super sticker. Thanks, sir. Appreciate that. Let's see. James, use Raptor bedliner. Looks great and much better than original undercoating for wheelhouse, and sound deadens too. That's a good point. That is a good point. I appreciate that. That's a good. James, you're ringing him up tonight. Donnie, yes, it occurred to me after I sent those. I'll say this much. It's alive. Yeah. I should probably, I'm looking forward to seeing what you sent me. Welder, how did you like the mechanic ad with the crooked Mustang script on the fender? Yeah, I forget. Was that you that sent that to me? somebody had sent me a link, and it was discussing the color of another car, and the logo or the emblems, on the side of the car, they took some liberty with that. The Mustang is supposed to be flat, and they like angled it. Made no sense at all. And as soon as I saw that, I couldn't look at the rest of the car. I could not get past that. Started going forward. Oh, all done. Doesn't matter what you did. That Mustang emblem's wrong. So yeah. Rich, thanks. The epoxy about 3 weeks old. Plan to spray urethane 2K over the epoxy after fixing epoxy on a quarter and sanding the entire car as it's past its 72-hour window. Thanks again. Great info. Yes. Okay. Well, thank you again for the super sticker. Gary, stable and Yamaha ring free for your buddy's boat. Okay. Yeah, and you may have to actually put in some. I know up north we would have what was the stuff called? They don't use it in the south. The gas line antifreeze or whatever. You dump in a bottle and it would help get all the water out. So maybe he needs to do that as well. What do they call that stuff? I know you would say gas line antifreeze, but there was another name for it. Not ringing my bell, because I haven't seen that stuff in decades. Haven't had it. You never use it. Leonard, what was the paint you used for the inner rocker panels? I want to paint the inner frame rails on mine. I use the Eastwood inner frame coating, if that's what you're talking about. Used to paint the inner rocker panels. Oh, you're talking on Jade? I actually used you can use Pour 15. I think I used Chassis Saver. And when I had access to the back of the rocker when the wheelhouse was out, that's what I did. I shot it in with like a syringe as far as I could. Then I took an air hose, long wand, and I blew it all over the place inside the rocker panel. That's how I did it on Jade. Now on the Brooklyn Pony car, I ended up using the Eastwood inner frame coating kit, whatever. It has a plastic tube with a nozzle on the end. That's what I used on that car. Andy, is there somewhere on the web that you have pics of Jade? Just wondering because the paint looks so blue in the videos. It'd be nice to see what the color actually looks like. Well, I have it. It's all over. I have it on Instagram and I have it on Facebook. So I don't know if you're on Facebook, but I have a Joe Daddy's Facebook page as well, and a Joe Daddy's Instagram. I know the color just throws people off. And it really. This isn't my car, but it looks a lot like that. To that color. I thought I had saved some of those pictures. I know I had. I think I put some pictures on Facebook that were like HD pictures with my good camera. Had like 3 photos that they layered on top of each other, and it really helped get the color out there. Okay, Walter, you did send me that link. Okay, thank you. Clark, you could make the 68 into a 4x4 on a Bronco frame. You know what? That's a great idea. I like that idea. Yeah. I like that idea a lot. That'll turn some heads. Don't get me started on crazy ideas. I'll do it. And Mr. 67 says, stay Bill. Bob says, heat. That was one of them, yeah. Again, another heat from Dan's Repairs. What about Bob? Ethylene glycol. There was a trade name, and I think heat is the answer. And heat was the water remover. Yeah. So y'all get a bell. Everybody said heat. That's your bell. And let's see. Oh, and Gary says, and keep the tank full. Yeah, that's a good point. Where heat is what you pour into remove moisture up north. Yes. March Indy, gas line antifreeze called heat. We've got a lot of good answers. Everybody got the Heat. I think there was another. I don't know if it was another brand, but Heat was the one I think I was thinking of. RGD, do you have a video on spray guns and setup? Thanks. Well, not specifically on spray guns, but I do show some information on the when I'm doing spray gun stuff. I would recommend, honestly, if you want to see somebody who does good work, there's a guy called Paint Society, his YouTube channel, and Faraway, Pharraway. That's where he lives. I think Far, Texas, Pharr. He does some good stuff with videos too. So you can give those two guys a look. Faraway and I think Paint Society. They know more about it than I do, and I've actually looked at some of their stuff to get information for myself. So Dave in late with the Heat, but I'm glad you answered. Brian, in the trunk of my parts car, I found a spray can of liquid tire chain. Anyone remember that? Snake oil. Liquid tire chain. Leonard, yes, I don't remember what you used, but I wanted to do the same. Okay. Yeah, like I said, for the one, I did the car chassis saver with the syringes, and the other one was the Eastwood internal frame coater. So Wayne Warrior, Heat with an E, not HEATS. Dry gas. Now, see, I think that is the word I was looking for. I'll give you a bell for dry gas. Clark Clifford, the guy up the street, had a 68 Camaro on a Blazer frame. It was actually kind of nice. Yeah. Well, my brother, I don't know if I've ever shared that picture or not. He's got I think a 68, or he built a 68, I think 68 Galaxy 500 on what was the frame? I don't know what the frame was. It was a 4x4 though. He did have that. Donnie, yeah, a full tube chassis with 14-inch travel coilovers and 43-inch Super Swamper stickies. Blah, 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 blah. That's a lot of words. You know what? I'll take you up on that, Donnie. I'll take you up on that. If you want to build me a chassis, I'll drop the 68 on top of it, the red 68. Thomas, I can't find Iron Man. He's here. He was found earlier. Somebody found him earlier, but he's here. He's busy. He's supervising. I like that idea, Donnie. Full tube chassis. Not in my wheelhouse, not something I'm capable. I mean, I don't have the equipment to do all that, but that would be awesome. Clark, the Camaro had 44-inch mutters, and God only knows what lift. Well, I think the creations that we had made, my brother did his I think it was a 68 Galaxy. I think. Let me see if I can find that picture. And he let me see if I can find that quick. I don't know what chassis he used underneath it. I don't remember. Let me see. I know I have that picture somewhere. Maybe I do. Well, maybe I don't. I don't know where it's at. I may have actually put it on my. It might be on my Joe Daddy's page. I think. Let's see if I can find that real quick. It's hard to say where it's at though, because I have a lot of pictures on that page. A lot of pictures. And I'm probably not going to be able to just pull it up. Anyway, you know, I'm gonna download a picture of that Donnie sent me. Just because. And then I'm going to share that. Just because. See if I can get that. Well, where did it go? Now I got to start over. Hold on a second. All right. Let me try this one more time. I don't know why I'm having difficulty with that. There we go. So I'm gonna show you this this cool Jeep. This cool Jeep. Check that out. Check that out. That's nice. That's a nice rig right there. I know you're excited about that. That looks like lots of fun. Lots and lots of fun. James, if you rebuild the vent windows with new frames, I really like to see how you handle installing the blind rivets. Auto Rest Mod used super strength panel bond adhesive. I did not consider that. Yeah, I did not consider that. That could be a challenge. Brian, I hope I'm not giving away state secrets, but I think Iron Man is atop the tall gray cabinet on the left side of the screen. Yep, you found him. Shane, I remember the pic of your brother's car. I had the same wheels on my 79 CJ7. Yeah, I don't know what I did with that picture. I don't know what I did with it. I know it's somewhere. I wonder, maybe I can, maybe. Yeah, there it is. Okay. I can actually pull that up. I found it. So, here you go. There's my brother's 4x4 that now his widow has possession of. I'm not exactly sure. I'm not sure even what that thing. It was, maybe it was a Mercury. I don't even know. I don't remember. But you could see he used it. This was up in Kentucky. He drove that thing around. Got ice. He was one of the few people that could get around up there when they had the snow. But you know what? He built what he wanted, and I don't blame him at all. Don't blame him at all. Let me pull that off quick. All right. Let's see. Marshall. Howdy, folks. Been busy with family and not much progress on the fastback to report. I hope everyone is doing well. We'll report the progress after the kids get back to school. Take care, all. Okay. Well, one of these days I need to still get up there and get some video of that thing. Welder, heat, and similar products are primarily methanol. I worked in a metallurgy lab, and we would try buy heat if we ran out of methanol for sample prep and couldn't get it quick enough. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Clark, Barry, Google 68 4x4 Mustang. I had no idea how many there are. I may have to do that. Welder, your connection seems to be better tonight. Can we give credit to your wife being away from home? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe. I don't think she's back yet. I don't think she. You know what? Hold on. Let me just check something. Let me just check, just to see. Just to see. Nope, she's not here. She's not here. Maybe that's been it the whole time. Is that she's been watching TV and movies and stuff. Um, maybe that's what's killing it. Dave, had alignment set on the Winged Warrior and been cruising. The eccentrics decided to rotate with road bumps on the way home. Time to put in the eccentric eliminators. That's a tough thing to put together. I mean, tough thing words to put together. That sucks. So they decided to rotate with road bumps on the way home. Man. Donnie, I'll stop by Fayetteville on my way to East Tennessee and show it. Not that I'm a show off, but if the shoe fits, hey, stop on by. I would love to see that thing. I would love to see that. Jorge, hi Barry. Are you going to replace the wheels? The wheels on Jade? No. Nope. I'm gonna keep those on there. Don, got to go, folks. Helping a friend fix his Tahoe. Glad you're here, Don. Again, I've mentioned it. I don't know if Don responded back whether he got his YouTube channel up or not. He had told me he was going to make one. Let me see. I'll share it again because I haven't researched it yet to see if he's actually got it up. So maybe here's the link, or here's the name of his channel. At least that's what he told me. So Dawn's Manufactory. I like that name. So hopefully he's got it up and got some stuff on it. I don't know yet. But if he does, that's the name of the channel. Oh, man. Okay. Let me get back to where I was. Jorge says good because they look great. Yeah. I'm keeping them on the car. I'm keeping them on the car, and if somebody somebody decides to buy the car from me, then they can decide what they want to do with the tires and wheels. But as it is, that's what I'm leaving on it. James, the letter N. The letter N for truck. Still driving you nuts. eBay has NOI. Oh, that letter N on the deck lid. On the trunk. Trunk. Okay. Yeah, when I did the put the letters on the car, the holes that are in the deck lid were original. I did nothing to those. And so when I put the letters in, the N is crooked. Probably the manufacturing of the letter by itself, whoever, China. But it's crooked. And if I look at it enough, it'll keep bothering me, but odds are I'll probably ignore it. I've got other things that are getting in my vision and bugging me at this point. Robert, sorry I'm late. A front came through and dropped the temperature to 85 from 95, and I spent a little time in the yard enjoying the cold weather. Well, I'm glad you're here. Marshall was asking Donnie, you going to Coal Creek? Got to hit Rattle Rock in that rig. One of the most challenging trails I ever did in my off-roading days. So there's a question for Donnie. And Chris is checking in. Glad you're here. Yeah, I don't know where he's headed with his rig, but I mean that thing is that's going to be a lot of fun. I can see that now. Really well done. I wouldn't know what to do if I had one of those. Would not know what to do. Okay. So, what else is going on? You know, I talked about going to the lake, chilling out, having boat problems. We're going to be going to eat. I've mentioned that at their beer garden up in Atlanta. Great place. So maybe we can check that out if you're ever in the Atlanta area. Another place you want to check out, just because I'm going to mention this, is there's a restaurant up in Atlanta called the OK Cafe. I don't know if you've ever been to one of those or that place. Apparently, it's been around for a long time, and it had actually burned down, and they rebuilt the place. But if you go there, the food is fantastic. Food, I like to eat. Food is fantastic. Um, they have chicken pot pies. I'm just telling you right now, if you go to the OK Cafe, get a chicken pot pie. Psh, you're done. That's all you need to worry about. Chicken pot pie. Who doesn't like chicken pot pie? Oh, there was something else Chris says day shift 8 to 8. Oh, well, I mean, is that better than 8 to 8 during the day? Is that better than 8 to 8 at midnight shift? I don't know. Chris is craving some seafood. I can go for seafood. I can definitely go for seafood. Oh, Clark sent me a picture of, yeah. Yeah. I don't like that one, Clark. I don't like that one, Clark. He sent me a picture of a 4x4 '68 Mustang convertible. Yeah, that's I can't say that I would do it that way. Let me just pull that real quick. I just here you go. I don't like that. I don't know what that overall what everything is in there. It looks like a Ford. It's got to be a Ford chassis. It's got coils in the front. Yeah, yeah. They need to take that back and put it back as a convertible. Get it off that frame. Yeah. Tom or Thomas, what state are you in? Half the time I'm in this state of denial. But right now I'm in Georgia. I've been in Georgia 30 years. So that's where I'm at. Rick, thanks. Now I'm hungry. Yeah. Well, I'm telling you, get one of those pot pies. Ooh, can't beat it. Donnie is answering Marshall's question. Headed to East Tennessee for charity run on Saturday of Labor Day weekend, then Tackett Creek, the Sand Mine, or Windrock. Rattle Rock is on the short list. Cool. It all sounds like fun. Clark, the link above the pic is a search. Some are better. Okay. So I have a couple other pictures I'm going to share with you in just a minute. James Smothers, for Jade, consider upgrading headlights to Dapper Lighting OE7, much brighter LED with original look. Okay. That's a good call. I've actually, this may sound out of the ordinary. I don't know. I've actually considered getting some of those lights with like the green perimeter on them to where it lights up like LEDs and because of the color. Now, this isn't blue. Trust me, it's not blue. But I thought it would kind of look cool to have those green, like the Challengers have those the rings that go around. I don't know. Could be me. I could be wrong. But I like the way it looks. Just kind of gives it a different look. So I'm downloading or trying to get a couple pictures here. This is from Dave, the Winged Warrior. Let me pull this off. And he says he sent a couple pics of Winged from today if you'd like to share. So check this out. Let me pull off the comment. That looks good. That looks good. Good looking car. Let me pull up the other pic. Yep. Did a good job on that car. It looks good. Now I want to get Jade together even more. Rick, you drive Uber Eats. Bring me a pot pie. Yeah. Chris, Mr. Noodles or noodles in a cup. Oh, you're talking about, no, can't do that. Thomas Williams, Panama City here. Okay. Last time I was at Panama City, I ate at a place. Was it Captain Jack's or something? I think it's Captain Jack's, where it's like all you can eat seafood. And let me tell you, I'm a glutton on crab legs. Crab legs. It was so bad. We had a group of like 8 of us there, and they had the buffet where you could go over and get, more crab legs and whatever. That's all I got. Crab legs. That's it. All of the people in our group were done eating, and I was still going back for more. And it was so bad. Another customer came up to me. Another customer now. He didn't know who I was. Another customer. He walks up to me and says, "You probably had to just get a wheelbarrow." He'd be further ahead. Oh, man. Now I want crab legs. Good stuff. POV Adventure. I've just picked up a 67 Mustang from the Midwest. I'm in the California high desert where it gets very hot. Am I going to have to upgrade the radiator? Possibly. Probably. If nothing else, maybe the fan and the shroud. Does it have, questions are, does it have AC? AC is going to make it run hotter. So you may have to look at increasing the size of the radiator as well. Clark, the green headlights will clash with the blue paint. No. Green. Robert, with anything over the stock engine, the factory radiators are lacking in capacity. So he's talking to POV. So Donnie, take a look at JW speaker lighting. Cool, top quality stuff. JW speaker lighting. Okay. Welder says winged looks good. Great work. Yes. Donnie, snow crab. Oh yeah. Sign me up for snow crab. That was one of the things. It's been. Oh gosh. It's been 5 years. 5 years ago, I took me and I made this whole big deal. It was our 25th wedding anniversary, me and my wife. And I set up this whole cruise with 3 other couples. We went on this cruise. We flew out to Seattle, did an Alaska cruise. It was amazing. The whole point was our 25th wedding anniversary, and the whole thing was a surprise. My wife only knew that she and I were going on a cruise. She didn't know any of the other couples were showing up. But while we were there, we had a salmon meal right there. And it was like in the woods somewhere, cool place. Had salmon, and we also had Alaskan snow crab. Fresh, right there, Alaskan snow crab. I could have stayed there all day and eaten that stuff. Fantastic. Thomas, yes, that's it. Hit me up next time you were down. Well, I don't know when the next time we'll make it to Panama City, but I definitely would like to go to Captain Jack's. Chris, take me down to Panama City where the grass is green and the girls are pretty. Yeah. Yeah. Angry Andy. Hello, recently found your channel. I'm restoring a 67 Mustang Coupe out of Rome, Georgia, and need to replace the panel between the rear glass and the trunk lid. Concerned about lead. Thoughts? Okay, so you're talking about the deck filler panel. That's what that's called. Filler panel, deck filler panel. The lead, you should only interact with lead where the quarter panel and the sail panels meet. And that's what I'm talking about. The quarter panel comes up. Like, I'll just show you. So, like, there's a seam up here, and the quarter panel goes underneath the roof panel, the sail panel, and then it's filled with lead. You should not interact with any lead with the deck filler panel. That thing is pinch weld. It has a pinch weld that attaches it to the window opening, and then the side pieces should have drop flanges that are spot welded together. So you should not be having any lead in that area. Rick, my 65 with a mild 302 has a 4-door radiator, never had a cooling problem. That's good to know. Rick Stevenson, hello everyone. Sorry I'm late. Greetings from Ecuador. Well, Ecuador. Well, I think I'm still drinking the 1820 from Panama. Ecuador. That sounds nice. I guess. I hope. Okay. Robert. Hi group. Long time no see. I've been working hard on my 67 Mustang. Got the center section track lock in, set up and back in, ready for rear drum disc while axles are out. That sounds good. Sounds like a good conversion. Okay, so Wayne Warrior is having trouble with the feed, and maybe it's just his feed because everybody else is responding that it's all good. Angry Andy, awesome, very informative. Thanks so much. Yep, you're welcome. Donnie, sounds like snow crab for lunch when we stop to see you at the very end of August. My wife is buying. I'm all out of money due to my new rock crawler. Well, you know what, Donnie? I can tell you this. There's a place local. Okay, let me give you some background of where I live. The Walking Dead is filmed south of me, like 15, 20 miles, whatever, 15, 18 miles. The show The Walking Dead. North and slightly west of me was what used to be Pinewood Studios. Pinewood Studios moved here from California, actually from England. They started another campus here. Anyway, Pinewood Studios. They bought a bunch of land and they started to they built up sound stages, right? Well, on that land was an elementary school that has never had a student in it. It was a brand new school. It never had any students. It never happened. The growth didn't come. Anyway, Pinewood, which is now Trilith, if you look them up, it's Trilith Studios, Trilith. I think they have 26 sound stages now. Huge. But anyway, the elementary school, they use it for teaching classes. And the cafeteria is now run by a company called Hanna Brothers. Hanna Brothers has catering for like the movie studio, but they also do meals. Fantastic food at Hanna Brothers. So anyway, if another place to eat, I'm really wanting to go eat somewhere. I'm telling you, Hanna Brothers. You can look them up. They're on Facebook. Boogie Bum. Okay, he's responding to Winged Warrior. All right. Chris, Dapper Lighting takes 6 weeks from order to delivery. Just bought sequential taillights for fun. Okay. Interesting. That's another thing that I have to build. I'm thinking, talking about lighting and stuff. I doubt it. I doubt you can probably see it. Let me try something. I like the way the hood shuts. Click, click. don't know if you can see it or not. Let me try it. Nope. Can't see it. Interior light. It works. I don't have any way to show it to you, though. Wait. We'll try it like this. Pretty high tech, I know. But when I was surprised, because if you remember this car, I never had it together. It was never running when I got it. So I also put in the switch in the A-pillar, and the light works. I was really surprised. Really surprised. So anyway, now that the headliner's in place, I can have the nice, pretty light, all that stuff. Pretty excited about it. Wally, Winged is right. You're freezing once in a while, but the difference is instead of failing to Wi-Fi and being crappy for a few minutes, you freeze for 3 to 6 seconds, but come back full strength. Yeah, well, I mean, maybe some may not be. I mean, I don't know. Robert, okay, I know where to eat next time I'm out. Yep. You could do Hannah Brothers. You could do OK Cafe or Der Biergarten. That's coming up Saturday. Der Biergarten. Looking forward to that. Nick is checking in. Glad you're here. Donnie, so where's the snow crab in your area? This meeting would be about showing off me meeting a cool internet dude and snow crab that my wife is buying. I don't know. I really don't know if there's, I mean, I hate to say Red Lobster. I really do. But I know that the Hannah Brothers has, they have crab legs, but they have their food is fantastic. And I'm not usually one to brag about macaroni and cheese, but let me tell you, their mac and cheese is off the chain, or off the hook, or something. It's amazing. Pretty sad we're talking about mac and cheese and crab legs, right? But I don't know. I don't know any place in particular that has snow crab legs. I don't know. I'll have to do some research. Winged Warrior couldn't get the gas gauge to work. Magic trick was to fill it with gas. There you go. Keep it KISS, right? The old keep it simple. Chris, electric gremlins of new cars are death to the vehicle. Old cars splice and shrink. Good to go. Yeah, pretty much. Dave, full tank, got the float to move. Must have been stuck. That's a good thing. Robert, I haven't seen a single freeze or pixelation in the stream tonight. That's great. That is great. And again, the things that I changed or things that I turned off my desktop computer completely. And currently, not saying this has been the issue, but currently my wife is not here. So she's not on the Wi-Fi. She's not on anything. I'm just saying. I don't want to get in trouble. Rick, I'm not seeing any problems with the stream here tonight. Good. That's good to hear. Nick, just picked up my motor yesterday. It was enough to make a grown man cry. Almost slept in the garage with it. Yes, the things that make us happy. Dave, that may be a good name for the 68, Red Lobster. Or maybe Red Dave is better. I don't know. Wayne Warrior, congrats, Nick. That's sweet. Yes. Okay, this is an off-the-wall question. This is a whole different. We're going to step away from cars for a second. Have you ever had a smoke detector that's fully functional with good battery? You know how sometimes the battery goes dead and it'll chirp. It tells you, hey, the battery's dying. Do something. Have you ever had one just go off? Just for almost no reason. We had this experience today. And and I'm not saying this is what happened. I'm just saying it's a possibility. Um, that my wife had put some stuff on her hair, you know, and she had come out to uh, she had come out to the kitchen where I was to say something to me, and then she left. And I almost immediately had gone outside after that. And then within a few seconds, she came out to me and said, "Hey, the smoke alarm's going off." Now, I usually do a pretty good analysis, right? I mean, I'm pretty good about um, let's say failure analysis type of thing. I can troubleshoot a lot of stuff. I can go, okay, what has changed? What can you know? She said, "Come look at it." So I went back inside. I heard it chirp one time. It was gone. It was done. It was done. It was done. It didn't make any more noise. And I waited a while and I told her, I said, "I think it's possible. It's possible now. I can't say for sure, but it's possible. Whatever the stuff you had on your hair when you come out, that it sensed that, you know, but I don't know. But I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying, because you think about it. If you troubleshoot something, you reduce the variables. You figure out what has changed in the sequence that has caused, you know, um, this to happen or that to happen. You know, eliminate the variables. You reduce all your options down to something. And a lot of times it's something simple. And I thought of this because Wayne Warrior mentioned about his fuel gauge wasn't working. Well, we all would go, "Oh, the fuel gauge is bad," or "the wiring is bad," or "the fuse is bad," or whatever. And really, the simple solution was just putting enough gas in it to where the float moved, and then it started working. So that's what I'm saying. You eliminate variables whenever you do these sort of things. But anyway, it's just my opinion that maybe whatever the stuff was, it was enough to trigger the smoke detector because it's possible. That was the only thing that changed was she had come out and back, and that was the only thing that changed. So I'm just curious if anybody has had something like that happen. Just saying. Dave's saying, yeah, every time his wife cooks. Nick says it's when he's cooking for some reason. Robert, dust fine particles will set them off. That's why you cover them during construction. That is a good point. That is a good point. James, if it's also a carbon monoxide detector. Yeah. Yeah. Donnie, your wife's hair was on fire? No. I will not insinuate that at all. March Indy, try juicy crab for snow crab. My son is like you and can eat his weight in crab. Okay, well juicy crab. Yeah, I've actually delivered from there. I think I've eaten one of those one time. But yeah, that might be a place to go. Thank you for that. Wayne Warrior go spray some hairspray while she's gone. Troubleshooting 101. Yeah. I was. I'm just asking. I don't want to stir the pot any more than I already have. POV, yes, dust can cause it to go off as well as steam or bathroom odors. Well, see, maybe that's what we're talking about. I don't know. Rick Gain, detectors are sensitive. I had one that was going off. Turned out it was detecting CO. Okay. Chris, spray cans work with CO2. That's why they're explosive. Yes. James, my wife's hairspray set off the monoxide detector, detects the CO from hairspray. See? Lost 2. Did she shower? Sometimes extra humidity will set off smoke detectors. Yeah, but she had been, she was doing her hair. She was already dressed and that was way off at the other end of the house. So not had that issue before. Like I said, it was only the idea of walking through the area. And I here's the thing. I could smell the stuff. Whatever the stuff was she had on her hair, I could smell it. And I thought, well, maybe the sniffer on the smoke detector smelled it as well. I don't know. Rick, HVAC company found the problem. Fire department was no help. Could have killed me. We had HVAC guy not killed me. Could have killed me had HVAC guy not found the bad gas control valve. Okay. Yeah. Nick, could have told your wife it went odd because she was so hot. Brownie suck at points. Went off. I get it. Yeah, well, yeah. I could have, but all she heard was the beeping and the dogs going crazy, and suddenly it was needed to be addressed. Robert, also depends on if it's photoelectric or ionizing type. The ionizing ones will have the radioactive sticker on them as they use americium. Yeah, I don't know which one this one is. Okay, Nick. Chris, I'll grab king crab, snow crab anymore. It's too expensive for the meat to shell into meat to shell to meat ratio. I get it. Yeah. Yeah, it adds up quick. Donnie, yes, Barry, find a way to blame it on your wife. Probably not a good way to get to 35 years. Hey, listen, I'm not saying, I'm just saying there was something had changed in that period of time that I'm just saying. I know I'm wrong. I know I'm wrong. Robert, right, Chris, always shrink connector, even butt connectors to seal from moisture. Yes. Yeah, if you're doing wiring, yeah. Get that sleeve stuff and you can heat it up. I have a whole 2 boxes of that stuff. Oh, but anyway, what I was getting at is I still need to build the dash cluster, for the for Jade with the Dakota digital gauges. I'm looking forward to getting that stuff connected. That'll be cool. When you fire it up and you can see the gauges, whatever. I'm looking forward to doing that. Clark, good luck on the 4x4 68 project. Yeah, thanks. Robert, check with the Chinese buffets for what night they do snow crab legs. Well, yeah. Yeah, I don't know if there's any around that have that, but we used to until people put them out of business. And I mean, there was some people coming in that place. It's like they didn't eat for days, and they came in there and emptied that Chinese buffet. Nick, your presence affects our safety. Next day, Barry is in the obituaries. Yeah. Not yet, Rick. She doesn't know yet. But she, in her defense, she doesn't really keep up with what the cars that I do come in. I've talked to her before. I said, "Oh, I'm gonna." I think I was selling something one time. I'm gonna sell the '68 Camaro that I built. She's like, "What? What Camaro?" The black one that I've been working on for the last 2 years. Well, which one is that? I'm like, the black one that's in the garage. So I don't remember seeing that one. I'm like, well, I'm selling a car. That's she doesn't really keep up very well with the stuff that I'm doing out here. James, slow internet, snow, now smoke alarm, hairspray. Yeah. Chris, I'm looking for a hard car. What? I'm looking for maybe parts car. Would you pick up parts and hope to use them, or just watch for the car all done up? I'm not sure what you're asking me. I'm looking for. So you're thinking about buying up parts for a car you want to build? I don't know. You got me confused, Chris. Sorry. Robert, snow crab legs from China with lead in them. Yeah. Yeah. Rick, if you get in trouble, tell her it's mine and you were hanging on to it for me. Yeah. Yeah. William, sadly, my wife knows all the cars we have. Yeah. Well, I try to keep her informed, but she kind of, she just kind of tunes me out for that stuff. She's like, I don't, whatever. And that's okay. That's okay. I try not to get involved with her her craft stuff that she does, necessarily. Um, we do our own thing, and it's all good. It's all good. Chris, Barry, it's the new gun theory, honey. This is the one I've had for a while. Yeah, yeah. And Barry, I mean hard to find. Okay, so you're asking. I'm looking for okay. So a hard car to find. Would you pick up parts? Okay, and hope to use them, or just watch for the car all done up. I see what you're saying now. So you're thinking of collecting parts for a car you might want that is hard to find, or try to find what's already done. Tough thing to answer. Because normally I don't go after the stuff that's hard to find. I mean, not necessarily. I don't usually go that route, but I don't know how else I could answer that. Okay, so I've had some questions answered tonight. James has helped me out with these panels that apparently I need to contact NPD and get this straightened out. And whether I use the lesser brand or wait for the really good one, I don't know yet. But I'm going to have to figure out something. So I got to get those pieces put together. There's still some other little things I need to do with the car, with Jade. The rock guard needs sanded and buffed. I've got to address there's some like little spots on it, like kind of like bugs or something. I don't know. So I got to get that cleaned up. And the one headlight extension actually has some runs in it. So I have to address those, get those cleaned up, and then I can put the rest of the front end together. That's the plan anyway. I still have to put in more of the kill mat, as I talked about. I have to put in I've got that panel for the seat divider. It goes behind the back seat. I'm putting in that full metal panel, and I'm going to put screws around the perimeter of that to square it, make sure it's stiff and straight. So there's just a whole lot of things that still have to happen. Donnie, my wife doesn't mind cars, but projects are a different thing. Projects cut into her travel agenda. Yeah. Well, we're not doing much of that either. Not with her watching the grandson and stuff. So haven't really seen that happen. Nick, just tell people your headlights are running. Your headlights are running. What? What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Nick? Your headlights are running? Chris, I found a couple of 72, 73 Mercury Montego GTs, but the parts are as bad as the cars. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'm a 2-hour mark, and it's been good. It's been good. We've had some good conversation, got some laughs, talked about food, talked about parts, talked about what we're doing and all that stuff. Oh, I get it. Nick said you said you had runs in the headlight buckets. I'm on like 2 hours sleep, man. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And Robert says, well, you and I can go to Greece in September and the other halves can stay home. Well, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to go there. I don't want to do that. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to have some more videos coming out on the car, more stuff coming together, and some more, problems to solve and stuff. So I'm not sure yet if I'm going to do a Thursday live stream. I've been monitoring it, and the numbers aren't as high as on Mondays. In the past, I'm not sure what's changed, but I've had 100 and some people on Monday nights. Thursdays, 30 is what I average. Whether that's good or bad, I don't know, but I usually don't run that one as long either. So we'll see how it goes. If I have it scheduled, you'll see it, and we'll go from there. If not, well, then look forward to sharing some other information later on. Oh, wait, one more question. Robert, for my rear drum to disc conversion manual brakes, 2-bolt master cylinder, will I need to replace the master with disc or just add a new prop valve? I think you can get away with the proportioning valve. I think, but don't quote me on that. But I think you can. Okay. All right. So either way, the videos will be coming out, and I don't know which one's next, whether it's door seals or a heater hose or whatever. But when you see it, you'll see it. So that'll be it for tonight. And I'm starting to see a stagger. Maybe my wife is home. Anyway, we'll see you next time. But until that next time, take care of yourselves. See ya.